my name's Beth Asbury, as Lucy said, and I work at the Pitt Rivers Museum. As you might have guessed, in April I was awarded OUMP Innovation Fund money for what I believe is the university's first cross-collections trail, which is very exciting. So it's a user-led project with heavy curatorial involvement and on an LGBTQ plus theme. Yay! Okay, so the project originates in a lecture given by Professor Richard Parkinson of the Oriental Institute in LGBT History Month in February, and a podcast is available at the link there. I can definitely recommend having a listen. It's fantastic. Richard created a trail on a similar theme at the British Museum, as well as authoring A Little Gay History. One part of his lecture struck a particular chord with me when he said, "One day, hopefully, every museum will have at least one LGBT item openly identified as such on permanent display, so that visitors of any sexuality can feel empowered by their human heritage. Silent and implicit support is not enough. Public gestures by institutions are crucial in embodying, consolidating, and legitimising our history. Prominent institutions have a responsibility to stand up for inclusive human rights prominently." And I basically thought, why not? So, the much feared Clause 28 no longer exists, and as public institutions, we in fact have a legal obligation to actively tackle prejudice and promote understanding of LGBTQ individuals. The importance of this really can't be overstated in the face of the discrimination that still exists in so many parts of the world and the publicised statistics on bullying, self-harm and suicide amongst young LGBTQ individuals. Several other trails, exhibitions and projects exist, so we are by no means the first to do something like this. The main outcome of the project will be, hopefully, easy to update booklet containing the trail, which has been renamed Out in Oxford by our volunteers. We have about 40 volunteers, you might be interested to know. It will be launched during a week of events, coordinated by the Pitt Rivers Museum's Verve team, a couple of whom you heard from earlier on, during LGBT History Month in February next year, so 2017. Incidentally, 2017 is also the 50th anniversary of the decriminalisation of homosexuality. So it was interesting to ask curators to queer their collections, I suspect in most cases for the first time. So this is something that Matt Smith, who worked on the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery project, also noted. So I hope that another outcome of the project might be the introduction of queer terminology to the museum's databases to help this sort of research in the future. You'll probably all hate me for saying that. So the prizes for the most imaginative suggestions of items for the trail go to Andy Lamb at the Bake Collection for his pink recorder, and Stephen Johnston at the Museum of the History of Science for suggesting celestial globes to tell stories from classical mythology. I'm also very grateful to Simon Glenn at the Ashmolean, who's instrumental in having a replica of some lesbian money put back on display in the Ashmolean Museum specifically for this trail. And to my colleague Laura Pears at the Pitt Rivers Museum, who's commissioned a piece by an LGBTQ artist from a First Nation community, again specifically for the trail. I've written this far too quickly. I'm hugely indebted to everyone who's been involved so far, and I realised this morning I've missed off the volunteer service and the OUMP, so thank you very much, those teams, for your support of this project as well. I'm extremely pleased to say that all of the university's museums have agreed to be involved, and the Bodleian Library has also approached me wanting to have some items from its collection in the trail as well, which is really fantastic and encouraging. So if anyone else would like to be involved, here is some suggested reading. One thing that Vincent warns against is losing momentum once one LGBTQ-related project has ended. So I do hope that if this project is successful, you in all of your institutions, your collections, your museums will also feel empowered to also host LGBTQ plus friendly events and work with those groups. I'd love to hear from you if you'd like to be involved to organise the launch events for the trail as well. So thanks for listening. That was much less than 5